Okay, Pavitra. Um, PepsiCo received a very prestigious award, the Harvey C. Russell Award, and the India team, proudly, the India team, you are the event to receive that award. What do you think was the determinant? What was it that you did differently here in India that gave you the recognition and the applause internationally?
I think a couple of things. We over-indexed on inclusion. We were doing well on diversity. As I mentioned, that we were getting in people, but it was a leaky bucket. And that's when we started this whole journey on inclusion. And we did a couple of things. First of all, we spoke to a lot of women who actually left us, and the exits, and people who left us, over the last 1 year, 2 years. And we spoke to them and asked them, why did you leave? And startlingly, what really came out was when we probed deeper and deeper, they told us that we felt excluded. Right? We were not made a part of decision making, various scenarios that they played out. Then we spoke to men as well, right? And we asked them. Obviously, reasons are very different, but interestingly enough, there were a lot of insights that we got that it's not just women. Yes, it gets enhanced for women, but men were also feeling it, right? And we started thinking internally that how do we now start communicating this to the larger population, right? That inclusion is an issue, and how do we kind of decode and demystify that? So we did that in 3 ways. The first is we ran this entire gender intelligence workshop. So we partnered with Dr. Neeru and we did this entire sensitization. We took our leadership team in Dubai, and again startling, leaders there, very, very senior leaders who we thought, were up there, who, made it to the top and probably weren't feeling that. They actually came back and said that, look, and in front of everybody, that we feel it every day. So to your point, and that really shook people. The men in that room were shaken up because they were like, okay, we never realized this is what we were doing to you. So I think that was a huge impact, and we took this down across even to the front line. So we took it, we did this as a pilot in Dubai office, we did this as a pilot in New Delhi, and then we took it to all our salespeople, to our front line, to our plants, and literally women were crying. They said this is the first time that somebody has done something like this, and for the first time we feel more empowered. We feel that we've got a voice, and we feel that we're able to kind of share our thoughts. So that was a very powerful thing. The second thing that we did was all the exit scenarios that we heard, we converted that into a Nukkad Natak, right? And we got a partner who actually converted these stories, created a lovely jingle, and we translated that into 9 languages. We went across all our plants in all those languages, and we replayed the Nukkad Natak, right? And the workmen, and of course the workers and all the employees on the contractual and non-contractual, it was the first time, it was like a mirror being shown to them in a very non-threatening format, but those scenarios kind of got played out, and that's when people started internalizing and started thinking about the behaviors that they were demonstrating on a day-to-day basis. So that had a huge impact as well. The third thing that we did was a lot of communication, conversations. We heard that early this morning as well, that this is something that we have to constantly bring to the forefront. We have to have conversations. So every opportunity that we had, we would literally make sure that we were a part of that conversation. Any offsite of a leadership team, we would be a part of that and have those conversations. Town halls, small coffee meetings with leaders. Just continue this conversation and bring it to the forefront. So it's just not one activity, and it can never be one activity. It has to be a 360-degree kind of an initiative where you're constantly having conversations around this and bringing to the forefront. Because honestly, D&I is a topic or an agenda that can very easily drop down, in your priority list, right? How do you actually make this a part of everybody's daily lives, right? That it shouldn't be. Why should we have an initiative called D&I? I wish we reached a stage where there's nothing called D&I. It should be acceptable. We should be accepting differences, and we should be living, breathing that. So how do you constantly bring that to the forefront and make it a part of your daily lives? I think that's what we've endeavored to do with all these programs that we've done on sensitization, and making men a part of this journey who can become evangelists. So that's what really got us the award, and we are very proud of that, and thank you, Dr. Neeru, for that.
So, of course, it definitely needs an internal and external. So, I have been with you, but I know of the commitment that you had every single day and relentlessly how you worked towards it. So the sustained effort is, I think, like you rightly say, it's the sustained effort and the continuous journey, and the D&I is very easy to drop out. And sometimes you seem to be the one who's only pushing the agenda, and it seems to be against a lot of odds.